and welcome to my channel. This is Living Life with Mama. In today's video, I am going to show you how I am meal planning for this week with my second paycheck of April with the budget of $120. I went ahead and filled out some of this stuff already. We are still in the month of April, and this is the week of April 15th to April 21st. This is going to be kind of a somewhat of an easy week because my daughter will be at her grandparents from Friday evening until Sunday evening. Just to kind of talk about this weekend with my daughter at her grandparents. I send food there with her because of her dietary restrictions, and she usually wants the same thing every week to be sent with her. They sometimes eat it, sometimes don't, because they usually have events that they go to, or like outings, go over to friend's house, whatever the case may be. But this food is an option, and it's mostly just base meal that provides gluten-free options. So normally on a Friday, she would want tater tot casserole or spaghetti, like that. So the tater tot casserole provides, gluten-free and dairy-free. And the spaghetti is like gluten-free spaghetti noodles. That's for Friday and Saturday dinner. Then for breakfast, she loves her grandpa's French toast. So we always send her with one whole thing of bread, or it may have like a few pieces out of it, whatever the case may be. But we never do just like, okay, here's 2 pieces for this, 2 pieces for that. We just send a loaf of bread with them, and then whatever they don't use, they send back. So Saturday and Sunday, she usually asks for French toast both mornings. Then I will send her, along with the bread, for her to have sandwiches. She'll have lunch meat, and then odds and ends of snacks. This week's going to be kind of easy because she'll be gone for the weekend. Saturday, I have a women's retreat for my church. If you've watched my previous budgeting video, I talk about that I needed $10 to put into the pot for them to be able to buy dinner for our women's retreat. And then Friday, I was thinking about on the way back home from dropping her off that I would grab a pizza. I have reached out to my friend to see if she wants to come and hang out, eat some pizza, or bring her own meal because she also has some food restrictions, and we could probably watch a movie. So buying this pizza will actually come out of my 120 because I don't have it anywhere else, and because I'm not having to buy hardly anything for this weekend. I will most likely eat pizza for Friday and Saturday for dinner, and then I will also have lunches, and then I will most likely eat sandwiches or find something else to eat. And then when she comes back, we'll have dinner, and it will be easy, hot dogs and mac and cheese, because usually when she comes home from her grandparents, she's very tired, she's exhausted, she's cranky, all of that. And so I tried to make our dinners after she comes back from her grandparents as easy as possible, quick as possible, because she's usually coming from her grandparents starving. Not starving as in like they don't feed her, but she's just really hungry because it's dinner time. Tuesday, we're just going to have regular tacos. I just have to plan for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday is an early release at our schools. So usually I have a little bit more time to be able to come home, reset, and be able to get started with dinner. Thursday, we have community group, and it's usually at 6:30, and I'm sometimes walking the door at 5 o'clock. And so it just depends on what we can do. So I try to make an easy meal for Thursdays where it's not so like I'm chopping a lot of stuff, I'm having to do this and having to do that, stuff like that. So I picked 2 things that I want to do. Teriyaki chicken would be easy because if I do it this weekend, the way that I got this recipe from Becky at Acre Homestead, and what she does is that she takes unfrozen chicken and put it in a bag with all these ingredients, and then she freezes them so they're ready to go, and then she pulls it out the night before or whatever and let it defrost, and as it's defrosting, it's marinating. So if I do it today or tomorrow, just put it in the refrigerator, or not necessarily the refrigerator, put it in the freezer, and then do that for Thursday. All I have to do is pull it out Wednesday in the refrigerator, and then I just need to cook it Thursday and then cook rice and broccoli or another vegetable, and we're good. So I think I'm going to do teriyaki chicken for Thursday, because that seems, if I do the meal prep ahead of time, that seems to be the quickest and easiest meal that I can have on the table so that we can get out the door and get to community group. On one of my other videos, I meal planned, and I said that I normally try to do like chicken, red meat, like back and forth, you know. I have looked at this beef stroganoff. We haven't had beef stroganoff for a little bit, probably for a couple weeks or so. And yes, I do rotate my recipes. So you will see a lot of my recipes over and over and over again. Once in a while, I will add in a new recipe. So like this beef stroganoff has been a new recipe for the last year or so. I had a friend that it was his birthday and he wanted beef stroganoff for his birthday. I told him that I would make his birthday dinner, and he had asked for beef stroganoff, and my daughter liked it. She's like, "Can we add this to our meals that when we plan every week?" I was like, "Sure." So that's how that got put in. Some other things was just me trying new ones. So whenever I get kind of like a little bit of an itch of trying something new, I'll kind of look for new recipes and then try them, and I'll have like 3 or 4 of them. So like an entire week will be mostly of like new recipes, and then my daughter will tell me, "No, I did not like that. That's gross," or "It even looks gross." I have several recipes in my binder that like I know I need to get rid of, but at the same time I don't want to get rid of, just in case if there's a time that I'm going to cook dinner that my daughter's not home, but I know that my friend would like, that has gluten and has dairy and all of that. I have this one recipe, it's called Melt in Your Mouth Chicken, and the topping is I think it's yogurt or sour cream. I can't remember which one, but she does not like the toppings at all. She hates it. And so I don't cook it, but I enjoy it. I like it. It's kind of like a sauce type of thing that you have right on your chicken. And so, but I have other friends that would also like it. And so if I have friends over and I feel like cooking, I want that recipe. I want to try other things that, or have, not really try, but have things that my daughter doesn't like, but I know that myself and my friends would like. So that's why I keep them for the most, and that's why I can't throw them out. So I do have a lot of recipes in my recipe binder that she doesn't like, but I'm just keeping just in case. But for the most part, most of my recipes are surrounded by her and what she wants. That's kind of why you'll see a lot of the same things. You'll see a lot of chicken and a lot of, it's ground turkey instead of ground beef, but ground beef type meals. Now, beef stroganoff, we don't use ground beef or ground turkey. We'll actually get the cubes because that's the way we like it. I look for the cheapest price because it's based on weight, and it usually always fits our needs. It's usually always enough because it's just the 2 of us. So this is what I plan on doing for the beef stroganoff, but I'm trying to decide, because it's been a while since we've had a good old-fashioned meatloaf and mashed potatoes and corn. Like a good old-fashioned meal. I don't know if you would call that American meal. But anyways, so I want to do a meatloaf. I might get in an inkling for that. I can't decide if beef stroganoff is going to be more intense or if the meatloaf is going to be more intense, because I think they're about equally. And so, but if I make the meatloaf ahead of time and do it for Monday, what I have to do is just, like, if I make the meatloaf tomorrow after church in the evening and just put, like, seal it up and just put it in the refrigerator, it's going to be ready to go for me. But I know I'm not going to want to do that on a Tuesday night. I'm going to have the energy tomorrow, hopefully, to be able to do it. And so I think I just talked myself into doing meatloaf on Monday. This time I am going to try it with ground turkey. So it's technically going to be a turkey loaf, and see how that comes out. And then I make my meatloaf with, like, as the binding, I make it with instant potato flakes. I don't use breadcrumbs. Even if I were to take her bread and like toast it, that bread is expensive. Instant potato flakes is not. And so I feel like it's a cheaper way of making that binding than using her bread that she goes through every week. Like I guess I could do like the heels, but I have to like collect that over time. And it's really hard to store that. I guess it could be in the freezer. But anyways, I just use instant potato flakes. And we actually used to eat so much mashed potatoes that I had to buy the big, huge, like tubs of the instant potato flakes from Sam's Club because we would go through it so fast. And then I got tired of instant mashed potatoes, and so lately it's been nothing but rice. Let me get a drink of my coffee. Real quick, this is my coffee. I don't know about you, but I can't drink coffee after 10 o'clock. I can't have more than one cup. It's ridiculous. How about you? Can you drink coffee all day long, or do you have to stop at a certain time? Because if you drink any coffee after that, you can tell that your sleeping pattern is so messed up. Like, there's been times where I will go to work and they'll offer like free coffee, but it would be 9:30, 10 o'clock before I can even get to a drink because I have to start my day and everything. And then I notice that I'm up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's ridiculous. I have meal planned for the entire week now. So Monday we'll have meatloaf. Tuesday we'll have tacos. Wednesday we'll have beef stroganoff, turkey. Thursday we'll have teriyaki chicken. Friday I will be after I drop my daughter off, we'll have pizza. I'll send a frozen tater tot casserole with her. Saturday I'm going to a women's retreat, so I don't have to worry about a dinner for that. Actually, I'll probably have pizza for lunch on Saturday since dinner is provided. And then Sunday, for dinner, we'll just do something easy, hot dogs and mac and cheese. Today, if you watched my last shop of me, today I'm going to have to exchange the correct mac and cheese for heavy mac and cheese for today. We don't normally do hot dogs and mac and cheese, but she's on this hot dog kick, and I don't know what's going on. She usually goes through like a fixation on certain foods. So like she had a fixation of guacamole for a long time, and then now she's like wants nothing to do with it. Right now she's on a fixation of cuties. That's kind of been going a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm gonna just kind of go down here. So meatloaf, I need ground turkey. So for meatloaf, we do the meatloaf, mashed potatoes. We do not do gravy on our mashed potatoes because I would have to make it dairy-free and gluten-free, and it just doesn't work. It always comes out as like thick glob. And also, to be honest with you, I stink at making gravy to begin with, even though it's the most simplest thing. But I'm too impatient, and I'm like, it's not getting thick, it's not getting thick. Okay, add some more flour, add some more flour. Oh, now it's just one big, huge glob. And I can do that with regular flour and milk. So I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. So we still have tons of corn. I don't need instant mashed potatoes. So for meatloaf, all I need is just the ground turkey. For tacos, I need lettuce. So we get the head of lettuce, but we seem to be wasting the head of lettuce. But I don't like the already pre-shredded lettuce because I think it's like 2 or 3 times more than a head of lettuce. And it's still too much for us. And I'm just like, I don't know. So, yeah, sometimes we need the lettuce for other things. Sometimes I'll put it on my sandwiches, stuff like that. And so sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. This past week we did because we had taco soup instead of tacos. And so usually we can use a head of lettuce 2 weeks in a row and we're good. But because we had tacos the week before, got a head of lettuce, didn't have tacos this time, had taco soup, it went bad. But it's okay. Again, it gets put into my compost, so it will turn into dirt. We do not need tomatoes. We have 2 more tomatoes, and we also have a lot of cherry tomatoes left from shopping last week. So we're good on that. We do need onions. So one of the things that I do, has nothing to do with shopping or food prep at all. So onions is a natural bacteria absorber. And I swear up and down that this works because we've had to do it in multiple homes. We've had to do it in this home, all of that. So if we're not doing it, I notice my daughter and I waking up extremely stuffy in the mornings, where like blowing nose, we think we're getting sick, but once we start moving around and we get out of the house and everything, we're fine and we don't get sick. Or we seem really extra stuffy right at bedtime. So I'll take actually, hold on a second. Just did them so it's not gross or anything like that. So I take these and I take the onion root side up, because so it will sit a little bit easier, and I take a knife and I cut an X. I do not chop it or anything. I just cut an X, like it's the slit's probably about down to here. And we put it throughout the house. So this one is sitting in my room underneath my window. More importantly, it's next to the vent. So when you have air coming vent, like there's a lot of bacteria in that. And I wish I had kept or took a picture of the ones that I just replaced. They were gross. Like they weren't gross, like gross, but they were shriveled up. They didn't have mold on them, but they had like dust particle, or not dust particles. I can't explain it, but you could tell that it had pulled out the bacteria in our air. Like it's so unique on how these onions react to the bacteria in the air. And so anyway, so they were getting really bad. I could tell that it needed a new one. We even put this like right next to our cat box, and it seems to help absorb the smell of it too. We hardly smell the cat box when we have these. When we don't have this next to her, we can smell it really easy. Let me go put this back. And so I've done it multiple times. When we lived with my grandmother, my daughter was coughing a lot, and come to find out, because the house is old, she had mold in the basement. And so I actually went a little overboard. I put like 2 onions underneath her bed, one up on a shelf high, and then one kind of like medium like level, and she stopped coughing within a couple days. Only cough at bedtime, and it was like that cough where like it would keep her up at night. It seemed like she was getting sick. It seemed like she needed to go to the hospital. Like it was like that, like really deep cough. But then she wouldn't cough at all throughout the day. And so I did that, and she stopped coughing within 2 days. And then the house that we're in now, and then I'll stop, and then I notice that we're getting stuffy. I'm waking up with very itchy eyes, with a sore throat, stuffy nose, all of that. I started noticing my daughter doing it and all that. So I have one in my room, one in her room, one in the bathroom, one in the cat's room, one in our kitchen, one in our dining room, and one in our living room. And we just kind of put it like behind things, and you can even tell. You cannot smell it because you're not chopping it up. You're just cutting a slit, and that's it. You don't chop it up. You don't do anything fancy. I don't leave it sitting out where people's like can see it. It's hidden, like unless they're poking around in my house, or they may see it sitting on the floor from a distance. They're like, oh, well, that's weird. But it's not just sitting on my kitchen table, There was even one time I had forgotten the onion in my cat's box, and it actually started growing like an onion stalk. It was really weird. But all of that goes into the compost. All of that goes into the compost pile. You'll probably be like, well, that's gross. You're putting mold and all of that in your compost pile. What do you think the food does before it starts turning into dirt and start decomposing? It turns into mold. Not really mold, but it goes bad. And so it's the same thing, and it's fine because it turns into really good nutrients. So anyways, with all of that being said, I had used up the rest of the onions that I had because they were starting to go like bad in the refrigerator, like bad, like soft and gross. There's a difference between it going bad in the refrigerator and it going bad because it absorbed bacteria out of the air. It's completely two different. When onions go bad in the refrigerator, they get soft and squishy and slimy. When they go bad out in the air and they're cut open and they're absorbing all that bacteria, it actually dries out. They're hard as a rock. hard as a rock, but they're dry. And so it's very, very different. It's very scientific. It's very cool. So if you notice that you and your kids are coughing a lot around bedtime or waking up really stuffy, try it out. Get one of those bags of onions from Aldi or wherever you shop. Get some bowls to hold it, because you don't want to just leave it on the ground, because you're going to have to eventually touch it to pick it up and throw it away, put it out in your yard, whatever. So you want to put it in a bowl because you don't want to touch it. Like, you'll be fine, but ew, gross. And then just sit them around your house. You can put them underneath the bed. I would suggest not putting it underneath like where your head is, because there was one time, I think maybe I'd cut it too much. I don't know what happened, because I've never noticed it before. An onion underneath my bed where I would lay my head. I could smell it, and I don't know what it is. Because I've never had it. I don't know if that particular onion was just so strong. And so if you don't want to smell like, you can't smell it. Like, that's the only time I've ever smelled it, was laying in my bed with it underneath my bed. I don't know how to explain it. I've never smelled it anywhere else. And I would be sitting chair, and it's like in the corner right behind my chair, and I couldn't smell it. So who knows? But anyways, get a bag of onions, get some bowls, cut a cut on your onion with the root side, because if you cut a cut on the other side that's not the roots, I think it actually falls apart or something like that. I don't know, but I always do the onion side up. Anyways, and then sit them around your house and see if it works. But with all that, because I've done that, I need more onions. One, we need onions for tacos. I think we need onions for other things that we may be eating. And then to have onions on hand all the time. And the other thing is, I need to chop up my red onions, because I have so many of them, and put them in the freezer before they go bad. So I would use yellow onions. I think that might be what it was. I had used a white onion, and I think white onions are stronger in the smell. And maybe that's what it was, because I'd ran out of onions. I don't know, but use yellow onions. I wouldn't use red ones. Go for it and see what happens. Anyway, so I'm going to get more onions on that. We don't need salsa. We do need chips for tacos, but we also need other chips. Corn chips here too. So I remember that I need to get both. We need to get, I think we're good on cheese, but I'm going to put dairy-free cheese and block cheese. I think I'm out of my block cheese. I think we're good on dairy-free cheese on both mozzarella and cheddar, but I want to put this here, and then when I go to check, then I'll cross it off. We do meat. We got good on taco seasoning, onions, tomatoes, salsa. I think we're good. Okay, so the beef stroganoff, let's see here. The stuff I have. I need coconut milk. So I'm very interested in how to make things that I can make in bulk and then can or freeze. I'm not having to buy a lot of it or buy it multiple times. And so one of the things I would love to see if I can try to do, make coconut milk or like cream or like almond milk. I know like I can make almond milk really easy, but I guarantee you coconut milk would probably not be easy to make, because it comes from coconuts. So I would be very interested in how you would make coconut milk. I think I need elbow pasta. So usually we do, they would do like the curly ones, but my daughter doesn't like the curly ones, and neither do I, because for whatever reason, it just doesn't cook all the way. And so you'll have like, especially when it's gluten-free pasta, and they break apart very easily. I know that I can make elbow pasta and it be cooked all the way through. We're good on it, and it's not falling apart on me. And she'd rather have the elbow pasta. She'd rather have the elbow pasta and like spaghetti pasta. She also likes angel hair pasta, but very often do I buy that. And so that's why I'm going to be making elbow pasta with it. And then the cubed meat. I almost missed that. I was like, I'm missing something very important. It's mostly like seasonings, and I have everything. I have the chicken broth. I have the coconut milk, cornstarch. I have everything for that. And the teriyaki, I think we need more chicken. We really don't have a whole lot of chicken meals. The teriyaki chicken is the only chicken. But I like to have extra chicken on there, and I may get the fresh chicken that's not frozen. That will need a little bit easier. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If we have a half bag of chicken left, I'm not going to spend almost $10 on a frozen bag of chicken when I don't need it, at least not right now. A lot of this stuff I already have. Don't need it. Okay, we're good on that. I'm going to put note $20 for pizza. So technically I only have $100 to go grocery shopping. And cheese. And then we'll have plenty of hot dogs because we won't eat the 8 hot dogs today. Well, 2, 4. We do need hot dogs. We have a friend over and she may be spending the night tonight. So she's going to most likely have dinner with us again. And so if each of us were to eat 2 hot dogs, that would only leave 2 left over. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and get hot dogs. I think I need to get spaghetti sauce. The only reason why I think I need to get so I make my own sauce, but I don't have any already made to send with her. I usually always make it the day of with like tomato sauce and then the seasonings, and I don't have any of that already made, and I don't think I'm gonna have time for that. So I'm gonna put spaghetti sauce, and if I don't have any in the freezer, I'm just gonna get like a container and then pour some in like a jar or whatever, and pour some enough for just her, and then freeze the rest. Right, so I think we're good. She literally needs more granola bars every week. She goes through those crazy. Meat sticks. Don't need any lunch meat. And free bread. I'm going to check. I think we got gluten-free bread last week, so I don't think we need that. She has a whole loaf in the refrigerator, and then she may have 2 loaves in the freezer, but I could be wrong on that. Since we're sending an entire loaf to her grandparents, and they may or may not use it, I don't want to be in a situation where they use it all or they forget to send it back or whatever, and then we don't have gluten-free bread. Like, you know, she does have a whole loaf in the refrigerator, so we should be fine, but I don't like to be put in a situation where she doesn't have her bread, because she likes to eat butter bread a lot. Speaking of which, we have butter. I need to take that out of the freezer because she just finished one of the tubs of butter, and so I need to get another butter out of the freezer, but we don't need any. Fruit, I don't need half and half. Oh, Sprite. Like for the last like month or so, I'm on this Sprite kick. It's so bad. I know it's so bad. I eat so many cans a day. It's ridiculous. And because we have this Sprite now, it's like really hard for me to drink water. I need to make it a goal. Like if I drink so many of my 32-ounce bottles of water, I can have a Sprite when I get home. But then I don't just stick with one Sprite. Like I bought that, so I forgot last week's shop with me that it just came out. I bought Sprite, like a 12-pack of Sprite, and I have one last can in there that I will literally drink today. And or is it a 24-pack? It's the one with the box, like it's the long box that can fit in it. It's not a big huge one. Maybe it's a 24-pack. I can't remember. But anyways, I forgot to show it on my shop with me. So I did buy a Sprite last Saturday, and I'm already on my last can. I have anywhere between 2 to 3 cans a day. And I know that's horrible. It is so much sugar, but it helps me to be awake, to focus on my studying. And it gives me something to kind of like treat myself as I'm studying. Water doesn't do that for me. And I drink water. I have drank water throughout the day. Ever since I started getting my Sprite, for whatever reason, I just haven't been drinking enough water. And I know that that's bad. And I can tell in my body and in my health that I'm not drinking enough water. So I want to stick with the Sprite, but maybe limit my cans, and I have to drink so much water before I can even touch the Sprite. But I also like to, when I come home and rewind, I like to sit down and drink a can of Sprite as I'm like setting myself for the evening. And sometimes I don't even get that. And then at the end of the night, after my dinner and everything's done, daughter's in bed and stuff, I sit down and do my studying, and I like to have something to drink for that. And the water just doesn't do the same for me. And so I was like, you know what? I will drink Sprite until I'm done with school, but I need to get it under control. I should not be drinking 3 to 4 cans in one afternoon on Sprite, because I don't take it to school, to work. I do not take Sprite to work because then I literally do not drink anything else. I do sometimes drink, I will get chocolate milk with my lunch. So I do drink other things, I guess. But anyways. So I do need more Sprite. I'm trying to think right now of what we need. Fruit, veggies, chewy bars. I'm trying to think. I don't need any snacks. I have like chip snacks. She doesn't need any pretzels. Okay, so I think that's it. I could sit here, like, it's already almost a 15-minute video. Obviously, I'm going to cut some of it out because there's a long pauses or I've had to repeat myself and stuff like that. So, anyways, I'm not going to do the part where I check my freezer. One, it's just not a good setup with my camera right now, at least not for right now. And then two, I just don't think it's very entertaining to look in the side of my freezer, and my freezer hardly ever changes. And so the rest of this video will be like what I bought at the stores, and we'll be going to Aldi. Let me see here. We definitely will be going to Target because we cannot get gluten-free and dairy-free pasta. Like, Aldi's come out with this gluten-free mac and cheese, but it's not dairy-free. And then they have pasta, free pasta, I think, but it has dairy in it, which is weird because no, a regular pasta has dairy in it. Okay, maybe it's not. But anyway, we can't buy pasta at Aldi. Maybe they just don't have gluten-free pasta. They have the gluten-free mac and cheese, which is not dairy-free. So even with having like the pasta here, we'll have to go to Target. The coconut milk will have to go to Target because Aldi doesn't have it. The mac and cheese. So we'll be going to Target, and so I haven't done this before, but this is something else that I do. So this says store, and I put like what store I'm getting at. So Aldi. And then when Aldi didn't used to have dairy-free cheese, we had to get that at Target. I'm so glad Aldi came out with their own brand of dairy-free cheese, and she loves it. It's ridiculous of how much she goes through cheese. I really don't have to do this, but it kind of helps. Spaghetti sauce, I really don't know if that's going to be an Aldi or a Target, so I'll put an A and then a T. We sometimes, so in the past we've gotten sauce, if I remember correctly, but it wasn't always stocked, so then I would have to start buying it at Target. So it just depends on what they have on the shelf. And then also in the past I've also bought tomato sauce from Sam's Club, because Sam's Club will come in a 3-jar glass, and I will reuse them for like storage and stuff like that. The spaghetti sauce that's at Aldi is plastic, and we just throw it away. I like glass because then we can reuse it. Good. Like, honestly, if Aldi would have coconut milk or cream out with a gluten-free and dairy-free pasta, gluten-free and dairy-free mac and cheese, I literally could just go to Aldi. I would never have to step foot. I bet there's probably other things that I get at Aldi at Target that I can't get at Aldi, but at least for this list. And I wish Aldi would come out with a gluten-free and dairy-free pizza. They have a gluten-free pizza, but they don't have a dairy-free pizza. And we used to do a pizza and movie night Friday nights, and we would get pizza. Like, I would I would get gluten-free and dairy-free pizza from Target. I would get a pizza for me. So my daughter had her own pizza and I had my pizza, because honestly, I don't like gluten-free and dairy-free pizza. And also, she has a completely different pizza than I do. She likes just very simple, like pepperoni, sausage, hamburger meat, and then black olives. I like the veggies on it and stuff like that. And so we would get two different pizzas. Well, then Target went under like a reconstruction and they stopped selling gluten-free and dairy-free pizzas. I don't know why. Like it was like or whatever. And they came out with another pizza, but it's not dairy-free. It's gluten-free. And so then I would have to start going, so I had to start going to Natural Grocers, which has the gluten-free and dairy-free pizza that we buy at Target, but it's like $3 more. I think I was paying $7, $8 for gluten-free and dairy-free pizza. Times that by 4, because we would have pizza every Friday, and that added up really fast. And then I think before that, we would go to our favorite pizza place and get two different pizzas. Well, that right there is $40 for us to do that because gluten-free is a little bit more expensive. $40 for us to have pizza every Friday night. And when I made the money, I could do it, but I can't do that. Like, even for me to get pizza, it's $20, but because we're having such an easy week this week, like this is pretty short, I know that I can most likely buy all of this for $100. If I can't get this, like if I can't get all of this for $100 and I don't have the 20 left, then I'll probably eat leftovers or make something for dinner. I really don't want to because honestly, the last thing I want to do when I'm home by myself is make food. So I couldn't buy it at Target because they stopped selling it. We stopped going to a pizza place to have fresh pizza every morning because it started getting too expensive. And then I stopped getting it at Natural Grocers because it started becoming too expensive. And then I went the other route of making our own crust, and it was taking more time in the kitchen to make pizzas, and bread items that are gluten-free and dairy-free I've tried everything. It's ridiculous, which is why I don't make my own gluten-free bread. And it was just a lot of work. And I'm like, it's Friday night. The last thing I want to do is be in the kitchen making pizzas over a hot oven. Like, I want to be able to enjoy it. So we stopped doing Friday night pizzas. Actually, we haven't sat down and watched a Friday night movie in quite some time. So that's why we don't do pizza anymore. But I wish Aldi would come out with a gluten-free and dairy-free pizza because then we would buy it more. And it would probably be like $6. Kind of expensive. Anyways, so this is my my list for this week. Instead of $120 to work with food, I actually ended up only working with $100, and great news, I stayed in a budget. Whoop whoop. All right, so this is my little tiny haul from Target. I got coconut milk for a recipe. I got coconut cream for a recipe. I went ahead and got this because I have I have a meal for tomorrow that calls for coconut milk or cream, I don't remember, and I cannot find the one that I bought for last week. I wonder if I needed two and the only one that I had. I know it's around here somewhere if I have it. The mac and cheese, this is the gluten-free, dairy-free mac and cheese that we got. I got the wrong one, so I actually got two, one for dinner tonight and one for next Sunday. And then the elbow pasta for the beef stroganoff. All right, so let me show you what I got at Aldi. So this is my Aldi haul. I'm going to zoom in and we can talk about what I got. Okay, these are sandwich bags. These are actually purchased last week and we got the wrong kind. We got the freezer bags instead of sandwich bags. So technically this isn't part of the $100 haul, but I did get it today. More meat sticks. We've already opened it because we were kind of hungry. More Chewy bars for my daughters for school. Chips for tacos. She didn't want just regular chips. She wanted these this time. She can actually have them because it's puffed corn. And it doesn't have dairy, I believe. It has artificial butter in it. It's not actual butter, which isn't good, but it's a snack. So, more blueberry bagels, and then more bread. Another whole turkey. Got the beef stew for beef stroganoff. 2 more ground turkey
So I had tater tots on the list, but we went ahead and got steak fries because it's what my daughter requested instead of tater tots. More cheddar block cheese, more hot dogs, 2 things of broccoli. I probably could have gotten more, but it's okay. The cream cheese for my grapes, they started eating on that too. Behind it is sauce. Even though that's not on the recipe, she needs spaghetti sauce to be sent to her with her grandparents. And then cherry tomatoes, the bag of onions, a head of lettuce, and tomatoes for me for my lunches. So, okay, so here is my Aldi haul.
Guys, so I am back from shopping at Target and Aldi. Even though I budgeted for 120, technically I only had 100 because 20 of this is going to go for dinner on Friday night for me to get some pizza after I drop my daughter off at her grandparents. Now, I did go back to, when I went to Aldi, I exchanged the freezer bags for the sandwich bags, and the sandwich bags are actually cheaper. So some of the leftover money from that is part of this, actually part of the change. Because I think she gave me like $2.89 back or something like that. It ended up being $2.27 or something. So some of the change is for that. And then I exchanged the mac and cheese. And the mac and cheese that we got was actually more expensive than what needed, I guess. The one that we got was $3.89, and I think, or the one that we needed was $3.89, so about $4. And the other one was like $2.99 or something. So it kind of leveled out on its own, I guess. But I still stayed in budget because look, I have change. So at Aldi, you saw my Aldi haul. I spent $69.45. The one thing that you didn't see was the strawberries because my daughter's friend wanted strawberries. She had her own money, but for some reason her app wasn't working. So I was like, fine, I'll just go ahead and just take it and you can owe me later. I also had already put my Sprite 12 pack in the refrigerator out in our garage because I want some Sprite and I wanted to get it cold. So you did not see that in my where I was showing you what we got. Then at Target, we didn't need a whole lot of things. It ended up, I had a 30-cent Target Circle rewards. So that pretty much took care of the tax. And so I only spent $15.59, which is actually pretty awesome. So first things first is we're going to Big Mama and we're going to put our change in. So we definitely have a lot of pennies. We got a good amount of quarters, which really add up fast. So I'm excited to see how far we get at the end of the year. I'll probably do it like a New Year video or New Year's Eve video to see how much we got. So I'm going to put this to the side. What I ended up coming back with, I started with $100. I'm going to say $100 because the 20 is for pizza. So I'm going to say $100. I started with $100, so I came back with 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 26, 27, $28. So that's not bad. All right. So what I'm going to do is put it in my envelope challenge to see where I can put money. So I can go ahead and do the 12. And I'm going to go ahead and do 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is 16. What I'm going to do is see if I $5 bill somewhere, which I know I do. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 3, 4, 5. Make sure all of those are facing the same way. I want to be able to put as little amounts of, or as big as amounts of money as I can. So instead of having 6 ones and it making it really thick, that's why I exchange it for the 5. So I'm going to do 10, 15, and 16. I think I did it again. I did it the wrong way. Funny how I did it the wrong way. Alright, now I have my colored markers. I am going to create. Alright, so I have 1, 3, I've got 6 filled in, 9, okay, 10, 11, I got 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. Okay. Also filled in 31. I really like this because that was a lot. Like, that's amazing. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. I'm going to, like, safekeeping, and I know where at the 20 in my eating out, so I know where the cash is at. Okay, well, that is my shop with me haul. I hope that you liked that video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you've made it this far. Also, if you are not, please subscribe down below. It's completely free for you, and it helps me to be able to get more content out and to be able to reach more people who may need this or enjoy more of this. Just to let you know, that is not blood, that is marker. Yeah, so you have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, bye guys.